Welcome to your practice. So I'm calling today's practice strong and steady. So I've mentioned in some of my other videos that one of the things that Vata can do is that it dries things up and it breaks things down. So for us to really balance the energy of Vata, it's a great time of the year to focus on building and strengthening. It's also a really good time to focus on creating stability and steadiness. So another thing that Vata does is Vata is like the wind. It is a little bit chaotic, it is destabilizing, it is ungrounding. And so it's really important to invite in practices that are going to create that sense of stability and steadiness. So today's practice, we're going to focus on all of those things. It's going to be a little bit spicier than some of the other practices that I have put up on this YouTube channel for Vata Pacifying. And by spicier, I just mean a little bit more physically challenging. We're going to move not necessarily fast, but at a pretty steady pace throughout most of the class. And so, as always, it's really important that you listen to and honor what your body needs in that moment. I'm going to be giving different options for you to modify, but of course, you're welcome to modify in any way that you need, even if it's not something that I've offered, to rest when you need to. And yeah, everything, as always, is an invitation. You can take it, you can leave it, you can do whatever you need to do in that moment. So for this practice, I am recommending 2 blocks. You can make do without 2 blocks, but they are going to be very helpful for this practice. And, again, maybe some padding for your knees. If your knees are pretty sensitive, that can always be helpful as well. So we're going to start lying down on our backs. So I'm going to invite you to lie down with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, about hips width distance apart, and you can do whatever you like with your arms. So maybe you want to rest your hands on your body, maybe you want to rest your hands on the ground. Just taking a moment here to really arrive on your mat by bringing your full attention to this time and space, to your body in this time and space. From here, you can close your eyes completely, or you can find a soft, still gaze. And I'm going to invite you to really begin to notice the density of your bones, that feeling of connection between your body and the ground that is supporting your body. Just feeling the parts of you that create that structure and stability. And if it feels good to bring awareness to your breath, just begin to notice the steady, rhythmic nature of your breath. Perhaps directing your breath a little more intentionally by inviting the breath a little lower into your body. Perhaps inviting in that more intentional lateral breath, so really filling up the entire space of the rib cage as you breathe in. Feeling that gentle contraction as you breathe out. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to draw your right knee into your chest. We're going to take the hands to the back of the right thigh. Now, as you bring that knee in, there's oftentimes a tendency for us to kind of smash the lower back into the mat and let the tailbone curl away from the mat. Instead, I want you to keep a little bit of weight in the tailbone. so that we maintain a nice neutral spine through the lower back. And then from here, as you inhale, slowly straightening the right leg just as much as you're able to. And as you exhale, bending the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And now from here, go ahead and straighten through the right leg. Keep the right leg straight. Bring your arms down onto the ground, maybe a little bit wider, palms pressing into the ground. From here, you're going to send the left leg forward, and that might invite your pelvis to tip forward a little more. That's okay. We're going to ground through the back of the left heel, through the center of the left thigh bone. From here, we're going to make these nice big circles with the right foot. We'll start by taking the right leg across the body. Now, as you reach your right toes across, and I'm going to have to scoot over a little bit so I have more room, but as you take the right leg across, go ahead and let your right hip start to stack over your left. So you are going to let that right hip lift away from the ground just as much as it feels okay through your lower back, and then sweep that right leg forward. Right hip's going to come to the ground. We sweep the right leg out to the right, keeping the left hip grounded, and then bring it back to center. So we're going to smooth that out a little bit. Take that right leg across, sweep it forward, reach out to the right, and then back to center. Again, across, sweep it forward, out to the right, back to center. And then we're going to switch. So we're going to reach that right leg out to the right, sweep it forward, and then as you reach across, let the right hip stack over the left. Come back to center. Again, to the right, forward, across your body, center. One more time. Nice big circle here. And then go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest, staying grounded through the left leg. And then right foot to the floor and left foot to the floor. And just take a moment here to just center your hips, take a breath. I'm going to swing it around. And then from here, we're going to draw the left knee in. You're going to hold the back of your left thigh. Again, keep some weight in your tailbone. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, reaching through the left foot. Exhale, bending the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And now we're going to keep the left leg straight, arms to the ground, right leg reaching forward, heel and center of the thigh grounded. Again, we're going to start by taking that leg across the body. You can let that left hip lift, slowly sweeping it forward. As you reach the left leg out to the left, left hip grounds, right hip stays grounded. And then we come back to center. So reaching across, forward, out to the side, center. And it's okay if your circle isn't as big as mine. Reaching across, forward. You might have to make that circle just a little bit smaller, and that's fine. And now we're going to switch directions. So out to the left, reaching forward, across your body, back to center, over to the left, forward, across your body, and center. And then one more time. Left, forward, across, center. Hug your left knee into your chest, grounding through the right leg. And then left foot to the floor and right foot to the floor. And then take a moment here once again. Center your hips, take a breath. And then we'll hug both knees into the chest. You can give yourself a little squeeze here, maybe rock a little side to side. You can circle your knees in one direction and then the other. And then take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Go ahead and rock up to a seated position, and we'll make our way to hands and knees. And you might want to grab your blocks right away. Place them just outside of your mat. And then we'll bring our hands to the ground. And from here, kind of push the floor away from you. So feeling that sense of stability through the arms, that stability in the shoulder girdle, finding length from the crown of the head through the tailbone. We want to also find a little bit of core engagement, so a little bit of hugging in around the lower waist and maintaining that nice fluid breath through the ribs. So just taking a few moments here to feel that. Again, finding that lateral movement of breath through the rib cage. And then we'll add some movement to the breath. So as you inhale, belly drops towards the earth, tail and crown reach to the sky. As you exhale, tail and crown reach towards the earth. Inhale, opening up into cow pose. Exhale into cat. And just continue now at your own pace, really letting the breath lead that movement. Just moving smooth and steady. And then on your next breath, we'll return to a neutral spine. You might bring your knees a little closer together. We're going to anchor down through that left foot, send the right leg back into a three-legged tabletop. From here, we want to make sure that we're not sinking. So again, we want to start to build that strength. Push the ground away, shoulder blades on your back. Keep a little lift through the front low ribs and the lower belly. Take another full breath in, and then as you exhale, we'll bring the knee to the nose, rounding through the back body. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, curl it in, and then we're going to step between the hands. This is where you might want your blocks, so you can bring your blocks underneath your hands. As you inhale, let your hips glide forward. Keep that right heel on the ground. Lift through the chest. It's okay if the knee goes past the toes as long as it feels okay in the knee and the hip. And then we'll glide the hips back, folding over that right leg. Inhale, gliding the hips forward. Exhale, gliding the hips back. If you do need to kind of walk your blocks back too, that's totally fine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, right knee over right ankle, and then blocks to the side. Return to your tabletop position. And then we'll go into the second side. So inhale your left leg back. Take a moment here to find that stability, that strength in the arms, stability in the shoulders, a little bit of core engagement here. And then we'll take another full breath in. As we exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose, and then step that left foot between the hands, ankle underneath the knee. Again, you can bring your blocks onto your mat. Inhale, hips glide forward, heart lifts. Exhale, gliding the hips back and bow. Inhale, forward. Exhale, rocking the hips back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, left knee over left ankle. Blocks to the side. Left knee back underneath the hip. From here, go ahead, send your hips back towards the heels. Walk your hands forward towards the front of your mat. And again, it's okay if your hips aren't all the way back by the heels, just as far as it feels okay in your body. It's even okay to have the hips more above the knees. We're going to walk the hands forward. We're going to keep the elbows lifted, so arms are a little bit more active. And then head can just hover above the ground. I'm just taking a couple of breaths here. And then from here, we're going to inhale, rock forward into a modified plank pose. So shoulders are over wrists. We find that long line of energy from crown of the head through the knees. And then on your next exhalation, you're going to rock the hips back. So we'll inhale, come forward into modified plank. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Now we're going to pause here. You can stay in your modified plank or tuck your toes, lift the knees, full plank pose. Again, pushing the ground away, simultaneously think of pulling your hands and feet towards one another. And then keep that pulling back on your mat action as you bend your elbows, slowly lowering all the way down to your belly. We want to try to lower as one unit if possible. Tops of the feet to the mat, anchoring down through the pubic bone. From here, as you inhale, lift the chest, gazing forwards. So finding your low cobra, or maybe pressing into the palms of the hands, keeping the hips and legs pretty grounded, but just pushing into the hands, opening up and broadening the collarbones in high cobra. Or we're going to press down, straighten the arms, lift the knees and thighs in upward facing dog. As you exhale, knees can find the floor. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Just taking a few moments here, maybe finding a little bit of movement. You can pedal the heels, you can wag the tailbone side to side. And then settling into stillness. The knees can stay slightly or deeply bent, or maybe it feels okay to take your heels towards the ground, but really draw your hips away from your fingertips again. Arms really strong, kind of hugging those upper outer arms towards one another. We find that stability in the shoulder girdle. And then just allow your eyes to find stillness. So we have that steady gaze, steady breath. And then on your next breath, go ahead and walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Take your feet about hips width apart and parallel to one another. As you inhale, halfway lift, so fingertips on the floor, or hands can be at the shins, just finding that nice length through the crown of the head. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We'll release the arms down for a moment. So we're going to move into a standing flow. We're going to repeat it 3 times on each side. Each time we're going to add on to the flow. So it can be helpful to have those blocks just outside of your mat. We're going to start in Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet parallel to one another. We find that sense of stability through the feet, releasing the arms down by your sides, lengthening through the crown of your head. Taking a moment here to bring your full presence to this moment, to feel your breath, to feel your feet in contact with the ground, or what has become the extension of the earth. And then on your next breath, inhale the arms up to the sky, reach. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to step the right foot back into a pretty long lunge here. And then inhale, palms to the mat. We're going to step the left foot back into a full plank. Now you have the option to right away lower the knees to the mat, or you can stay in that full plank. Again, we're pushing the ground away, pulling the hands and feet towards one another. Slowly bend your elbows, lower to your belly, just as we did before. Anchoring down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Grounding through that left foot, and you can bring the feet a little closer together if you'd like. Inhale the right leg up. And we're just trying to keep the hips nice and level. Again, finding that sense of stability, that kind of hugging of the upper inner thighs towards one another. Maybe lifting that left heel. As you exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose, and then we're going to step forward. Now, if all we can do is just kind of bring the foot back here, that's fine. Just bring the left knee to the floor and then physically bring foot forward so it's underneath the knee. Again, this is where we can use blocks. As you inhale, glide your hips forward, lift your chest. As you exhale, either keep the knee on the floor or lift that back knee. Rock your hips back, bowing towards that right leg. And again, we want to kind of squeeze or hug the upper inner thighs towards one another here. Inhale, knee to the floor, heart lifts. Exhale, rock your hips back, fold in. Inhale, knee to the floor. Exhale, rock your hips back, fold in. Inhale, knee to the floor. As you exhale, either blocks to the side or you can use them to step forward if you'd like. Halfway or into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, full plank, or lower your knees to the mat for modified plank. Exhale and lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe bringing the feet a little closer together. Inhale, left leg up, perhaps lifting that right heel. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose, and then step forward. Right knee to the mat. Using the blocks if you'd like. Inhale, hips forward, heart lifts. Exhale, lifting that back knee if you'd like, folding in. Inhale, knee to the mat, lift. Exhale, rocking back and fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knee to the mat. Exhale, standing forward fold. Right foot meets the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, left foot back to plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, maybe the heel lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, stepping forward, left knee to the mat, maybe grabbing the blocks. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the back knee, fold. Inhale, knee to the ground, heart lifts. Exhale, rocking back and fold. Inhale, knee to the ground, heart lifts. Exhale, back knee lifts and fold. Now this is where we're going to add on. Inhale, maybe keep that back knee lifted, right knee over the right ankle. You also have the option to bring the knee to the floor. And then exhale, right arm up, twist. Now as we inhale, we're going to straighten through that right leg just as much as it feels good. Right arm's going to reach overhead. As you exhale, rebend the knee, cactus the right arm. So you're kind of opening through the chest a little more. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, we'll straighten and reach. And now exhale, bring the right hand to the floor. As you inhale, lower the left knee, bend the right knee. Exhale, blocks to the side, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, reach up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. Inhale, right foot back into plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Maybe lift that right heel. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Step forward, right knee to the mat. Grab your blocks. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the back knee, fold in. Inhale, knee to the mat, lift the heart. Exhale, rock your hips back, fold in. Inhale, knee to the mat, lift the chest. Exhale, rocking back. Now again, adding on. Inhale, left knee bends. Again, right knee can stay lifted or be on the mat. Exhale, left arm to the sky. Inhale, we're going to straighten through that left leg, reach. Exhale, bend the knee, cactus the left arm. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, left hand to the block. As you inhale, bend the left knee, right knee to the mat, blocks to the side. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, circle the arms outward, upward. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, left foot back to plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Grounding through that left foot. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Maybe lift the heel. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose, step between the hands, left knee to the mat. Again, grabbing the blocks. Inhale, hips glide forward, heart lifts. Exhale, rocking back, fold in. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, keeping that back knee lifted if you'd like. Bend the right knee. Exhale, right arm up into that twist. Inhale, we're straightening through the right leg, reaching the right arm overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, cactus the arm, open. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. Now exhale, we're going to lower the right hand. This time we're going to pivot that left heel down. And then inhale the left arm up. Exhale the right arm or left arm overhead. Inhale, we're going to bend the right knee, warrior two. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the right leg, right hand to the block. Okay. Inhale, we'll pause. Exhale, reaching that left arm overhead. Inhale, bend the knee, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the right leg, reach. Now inhale, we'll bring right hand to the block, left arm to the sky. Exhale, reach that left arm overhead. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the leg, reach. Inhale, hand to the block, left arm to the sky. Exhale, reach that left arm overhead. Inhale, we're going to lower the left hand and the knee. Blocks to the side. Exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, right foot back to plank. Exhale and lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, maybe lift that right heel. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Step between the hands, right knee to the mat, using those blocks. Inhale, hips forward, heart lifts. Exhale, lift the back knee, fold. Inhale, knee to the mat, lift the heart. Exhale, rock your hips back, fold in. Inhale, knee to the mat, heart lifts. Exhale, rock your hips back, fold. Now inhale, maybe keep that back knee lifted. Left knee over ankle. Exhale, left arm up into the twist. Inhale, straightening through that left leg, reach overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, cactus the arm. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten and reach. As you exhale, left hand to the block, right heel grounds. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, reaching overhead. Inhale, we're going to bend the front knee. Warrior two. Exhale, reaching that left arm up, reverse your warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten through the left leg, reach and lengthen. So hips draw back. Inhale, left hand down, right arm up. Exhale, right arm reaching overhead. Inhale, bend the front knee, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten through that left leg, reach. Inhale, left hand down, right arm to the sky. Exhale, reaching overhead. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten and reach. Inhale, left hand down, right arm to the sky. Exhale, reach overhead. Inhale, right hand comes down, right knee to the ground. Blocks to the side. Exhale, standing forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your arms. We're going to take a few moments here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Once again, bringing your full presence here. Just allowing yourself to be. So we're not trying to be present. We just are. Just noticing your breath. Feeling your feet in contact with the ground beneath you. Noticing any other sensations that are here without judgment or creating a story around what you're experiencing. So just simply allowing whatever is here to be here. And then on your next breath, inhale the arms up to the sky, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And as you exhale, just make your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward into plank. Again, you have that option to bring the knees down, but as you exhale, we're just going to go right back into downward dog. You could also move back into extended child's pose. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, rock back. And then grounding through that left foot. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Maybe lift that left heel. Exhale, we're going to bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Now exhale, knee to nose. And from here, we're going to just kind of lengthen out through the crown of the head. Swing that right leg over. And you have the option to come down onto that right outer hip or extend the right leg out as you come down onto that right outer hip. We're just going to pivot the left heel down. So again, right leg can be straight, right knee can be bent. From here, with either straight leg or bent knee, we're going to lift the hips up and then lower the hips down. Again, you can do the same thing here. Lifting up, lowering down. Lifting up, lowering down. And then from here, we're going to either stay up on the palms of the hands or lower down to one or both forearms. Again, if this feels like a little too much, you can have that knee bent. You can have one hand, your left hand on the ground. That'll just kind of make it a little less of a twist. I'm just taking some breaths here. Good. And then from here, we're going to rise up. And then we're going to bend that right knee if it's not already bent. We're going to slowly sit up. Take a seat. A little cramp in my left hip. So from here, left leg is extended. Right foot comes to the left inner thigh. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist right. So towards the front of your mat. Left hand to right knee, right fingertips to the floor. We're going to keep some weight in that left hip. Just taking some nice full breaths. Letting your eyes find stillness. The eyes could be closed or open, either way, just wanting that steady soft gaze. Good. And then we're going to stay connected with the left hand and the right knee. And then inhale the right arm up. As you exhale, reach that right hand towards your left toes. It does not have to be a big stretch. I'm just kind of opening through the right side body here. I'm just taking a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to take this into a little flow. So inhale the right arm up. Exhale, take that right hand to the floor. This time we will kind of let the left hip lift. We're going to lean into that right hand like a little kickstand. And then we'll reach the left arm up, and you can stay here with the right hip on the floor or rise up onto your right shin, plant your left hand down, open up through the left side body. And then slowly lower the hips down, left hand, right knee reconnect as we take that right arm up and over. So right hand down, left arm up, maybe lifting as you inhale. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, right arm overhead. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, right arm reaching towards the left toes. Exhale, lowering down. Now we're going to inhale, lift up. And now look down towards the floor. We're just going to do this little pivot back into downward dog, or just get there however you need to. Good. From here, again, knees can always come to the floor, and we can take that modified plank to extended child's pose variation. Otherwise, inhale to full plank. Exhale back into downward dog. Inhale, full plank. Exhale, downward dog, really lifting from the low belly. Inhale. Exhale. Now grounding through the right foot. Inhale your left leg up, maybe lift that right heel. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Now from here, we're just going to lengthen through the crown of the head, swing the left foot or left knee over, and then lower that left hip onto the ground. We're going to pivot the back heel down. Again, that left knee can be bent, or we can straighten out. Hands on the mat. From here, you can stay with your hip on the ground, or we lift up and we lower back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then from here, maybe lowering that left elbow to the ground, maybe the right one as well. Again, if it feels like too much, knee is bent or right hand to the mat. And then just settling in here, taking those breaths. And then we'll slowly rise up. If that left leg is straight, we're going to bend the knee. We're going to come all the way up to sit, extending through the right leg, pulling that left foot in. And then from here, as we ground through the hips, inhale the arms up, exhale, twisting to the left. So right hand to left knee. My hips want to cramp today. But keeping that right hip grounded as we twist to the left. Again, steady gaze, steady breath. And then from here, we're going to keep right hand, left knee connected. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, reaching towards the right toes with that left hand. This does not have to be a big movement. We're just really focusing on lengthening and opening that left side body. And then as we breathe in, really, again, filling up laterally through the ribs. Feel that movement. And then we're going to take this into a flow. As you inhale, reach straight up. Exhale, left hand to the ground again, leaning into that left hand like a little kickstand. Right arm to the sky. You can stay here or rising up onto that left shin, plant your right foot down, open up through the right side, and then slowly releasing down, right hand to left knee. Inhale, opening through left side. Exhale, grounding the left hand. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, release. Inhale, open left side. Exhale, grounding. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. And now inhale, we'll rise up. Look back towards the floor. A little pivot back into our downward dog, or you can just get there however you need to. And then from here, we'll bring the knees to the mat and send the hips back towards the heels. You're finding that extended child's pose. So arms are straight out in front. And then from here, hovering the forehead, walk your hands to the left until you feel that nice stretch through the right side. And then walking the hands through center and over to the right until you feel that nice stretch through the left side. Good. And then walk the hands back to center. We're going to rise to all fours and come to a seated position. Toes at the very top edge of the mat. Taking the arms forward, we're going to inhale to a nice tall spine, and then exhale, think cat pose. So tailbone moves in front of the pelvis. We slowly release down. You can always walk your hands down your thighs. You can also bring your hands to the floor if you really need assistance. Want to try to just kind of lower one vertebra at a time. And then as the head comes down, full body stretch. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, walk your feet back towards your hips. So feet are flat on the floor, hips width distance apart, just as we started. You can just kind of cactus the arms here as you cross that right ankle over the left. Okay. Staying right here or letting the legs tip to the left. It could just be a little bit. It could be a lot. Maybe that right foot comes all the way down to the floor. You could also hold your right ankle with your left hand and turn your chin to the right. And then we'll come back to center. Left foot stays on the mat. We'll take that right knee out to the right. So just we're not tipping over to the right here. That left hip is going to stay grounded the whole time. So knee nice and wide, maybe a half happy baby pose. Okay, maybe straightening through that right leg a little bit more. And then from here, slowly rebending the knee if that leg is straight. We'll bring the right foot to the floor. Take a moment here just to center yourself. Take a breath. And then once again, we can cactus the arms, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, staying here, or letting the legs tip. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Maybe that left foot meets the floor. You can also hold the ankle with your right hand And turn your chin to the left. Good. And then from here, we'll come back to center. We'll keep that right hip on the ground as we take the left knee out wide. Maybe it's a half happy baby. Maybe it's straightening through that left leg. And then from here, slowly rebending the knee, left foot to the floor. Just taking a moment here to kind of check in with your body and just noticing if there's anything else that's needed in preparation for Shavasana. One of the most important postures that we do in an asana practice is Shavasana. So needed for integration, for our nervous system, and just really learning to simply be. Okay, so taking any last movements that are needed, and then when you're ready, slowly extending the legs out. If you need a prop under your knees, you can bring a pillow or a rolled up blanket under the knees, maybe a folded blanket under the back of the head, or covering up to stay warm. Just taking a few moments to settle in, making any last little micro adjustments that are needed to find the most amount of ease possible in your body at this time. And then settling in to stillness, dropping your awareness into the still, calm center of your being, and just letting yourself rest here, be here. So if you have more time to rest, I encourage you to do so. Otherwise, just taking a moment here to bring awareness back to your breath, just simply observing the breath as it is. And then beginning to invite some gentle movement back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe there's a stretch that's needed here. And then taking your time, slowly, gently roll to one side of your body. And just spending a few moments there first. And then rising to a comfortable seated position. And taking a moment here to really ground your sitting bones. So feel that connection between your body and the earth. Rising gently through the crown of the head, finding that tall, strong spine, supporting a soft, open heart. And joining your palms together in front of your heart. Just take a few more moments here for stillness and presence. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. May the merit of this practice be to the liberation of all beings. Thank you so much, everyone. Hari Om. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. As always, if you liked this practice, I would love it if you could click the like button and share it with someone that you think might enjoy this practice as well. If you are interested in learning how Ayurveda can support you personally, there is a link to my one-on-one Ayurvedic wellness immersion in the description below. I hope to see you on the mat again soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a beautiful day.